Shavuos, son of, we're right on schedule. Erev Shavuos, son of Tavshin Pei Gimel, here in Yerushalayim, care of Zoom. Shivat Samanafshi. Okay, let's go. Go ahead.
Okay. Let's do this. Okay. Uge Midrash Mitzasi.
Yes.
We find in the Midrash.
Yes.
Kishe Ba'u Yisrael L'Kabel HaTorah. When the Jewish people came to receive the Torah, Kofer Alehem Har Kigis. The mountain was covering them like a barrel.
Right.
Shehiyu Nosim L'Kabel Es HaTorah. What is Nosim?
They were anusim. They were coerced. They were forced. They were forced to accept the Torah.
Oh, like onus. Okay.
Exactly. That's right.
That they were coerced to accept the Torah. Uchsiv Eitzel onus, and it's written about concerning coercion. Rabbi Devarim Kafbet.
That's in right. That's a pasuk in Devarim, Perek Kafbet, pasuk Tez Chavtet.
Oh, Devarim. What's the resh therefore?
It's a good question. I'm not sure what the resh is. Maybe it means raw. Maybe it's an abbreviation for C. Look at. Yeah, maybe I think so.
Okay. Velo tiyeh le isha velo yochal le shalcha. There should not be a woman, and there should not be eating for yourself.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be having relations, and they shouldn't be eating during the Parsha.
And no, this is meaning the pasuk said. Maybe you want to take a look at the pasuk. It's you have a Chumash Devarim there.
Yeah. Let's see, Devarim, Kaf Bet, Kaf Tet, Devarim. Devarim Kaf Bet, Kaf Tet. Okay, so it says, then the man who lay with her shall give the father of the girl 50 silver shekels, and she shall become his wife, but had afflicted her, do not divorce her. Now let's see what the Hebrew is. Velo tiyah, l'isha. Oh, but that's not that's as far as it matches. After that here lo yuchal shelecha kol yamal. Okay, there's words in between here. Let's see what they say. Below tia, and there should not be l'isha. Oh no, and to him she will be a wife.
Right.
Tachas asher ina, because that he afflicted her. Lo yuchal, he is not able, shalcha, to divorce kol yamav, all his days. He's not able to divorce her all his days.
Right. He must remain married to her.
Right. So he quotes the beginning and the end, but he leaves out the middle. He says, to him she shall be for a wife. He's not able to divorce her.
Right.
Okay.
So this is the Medrash. The Medrash is quoting this pasuk.
Right. Okay. So trying to figure out what the point is. We were coerced. And it's written about coercion that if a man rapes a woman, he has to marry her.
Right. He must marry her, and not only must he marry her, he must remain married to her.
And he has to remain married to her. So he's being coerced, I guess, but he has a reason to be coerced. Okay, let's see what it says.
Well, no, it's because he coerced the woman, right? Because he coerced the woman, he must remain married to her now.
Uperush inyan zeh, and the explanation of this matter, he lechach amra Torah etzel onus, because for concerning this, the Torah says regarding force, lo yochal l'shalcha kol yamav, cannot divorce her all of his days.
Right.
Mipnei she havor shehu mitzad atzmo, because what is this word shehach vor?
The connection. Chibur is a connection.
Connection. That he from the aspect of himself.
Yeah, I mean the mipnei, meaning it's it says v'chi l'chach amr Torah etzel oines, and since the Torah has an aspect of coercion, right? Since the Kabbalah Torah had an aspect of coercion in it, it relates to the same parallel mitzvah in the Torah. Lo yochel shlochu koyam. He, the one who was coerced the woman, he is not able to send her out all his life, meaning he is permanently bound to her. Because the chibur itself is involatile.
Oh, so Hashem is likened to the man. The man coerced the woman, therefore he cannot divorce her. So Kiviyachol, Hashem coerced the Jewish people, so he cannot divorce us.
Right.
Efshar sheyiyeh ve'efshar shelo yiyeh. It's possible that it is. It's possible that it isn't. Kamo kol ish shenasa isha. it's like every man that that divorces a woman.
But this is marries a woman. A man when he marries a woman.
And Nisa is like, I'm sorry, Shinisa is like Nisuan.
Yes, that's exactly right. Nasun. That's the source of the word Nasun. Correct.
It's like every man who marries a woman, Efshar she yisha osa the Efshar shalo yasha osa. It's possible that he will divorce her.
Right, meaning a man when he marries a woman, right? It's I mean a man when he's faced with the choice of marrying a woman, I'm sure he could marry her. He doesn't have to marry her, meaning it's basically up to his own free will.
And he could divorce her, and he could not divorce her.
Right, lekach, meaning therefore, correspondingly, lekach efshar she can get gamkein, because since he had free will to marry her or not marry her, so likewise to release her, he has free will if he wants to release her or not.
So likewise, it's possible for him to give her a get.
Right.
The Yishlach Osa may Iso, and to send her from him.
Right.
Aval asher haya hachibur hakarchi hakrachi hakrachi, but when he is connected to the cause.
Well, out of necessity, when he's necessarily connected, when he's connected out of necessity.
When he's connected out of necessity, kimo zeh, like this, she unsa, that there is an onus. Oh, excuse me, I have to get the door. I'll be right back.
Okay, good.
I'm sorry, I forgot my wife is here. She got it.
Okay. All
right.
So in a case where it's hechrachi, when the case where it's absolutely of necessity, kamo ze she'ansa, in the case where the man coerced the woman. When the man coerced the woman, so it's out of necessity. He must marry. He doesn't have a free will choice to marry her or not.
Right. The davar shehu mukhrach lios ein lo pirud v'hasra and this thing, what's mukrach?
So the same word as hechrechi. This thing is something which is essential.
Essential. That it is not for him. What is perud?
Perud is a split.
Split,
a separation, right? Perud is a separation.
And what is hasara?
And removal.
So and a thing which is essential it is not for him to split and remove.
Right? He's not able to to separate and remove. It can't be separated and removed.
L'chach amra haTorah al ha-ma'anas es ha'isha. Therefore, the Torah says concerning the forcing of a woman, v'oseh ha-chibor b'ha-krach that it makes the connection essential. Lo yochal lishlacha kol yamav. He cannot divorce her all of his days.
Right. So that's what the mitzvah of this Torah. The mitzvah of this Torah is that since he was ma'anis her, since he violated her against her will and coerced her against her will, so therefore he's forced now to take her forever as a wife, and there's no opportunity that he can ever send her away to divorce her. That's good.
He's like right in the middle of something.
Yeah, I'm in the middle.
He's right in the middle.
Sorry, Rabbi. I never really understood this halacha that we're talking about here of the man who forces the woman and then he has to marry her.
Right.
You would think the opposite. You would think that, he's abused her. He's abusive. This is not a good marriage. A marriage can't be based on this kind of action. I've never really understood what was going on with this halacha.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's a very big chesed. This woman's been violated, so now she's going to be very much unattractive for someone to marry. Like this man is because of this man's taivas, because of this man's lust. So this woman has been violated, and now what are we going to do? We're going to leave her like just to become an old maid because no one's going to really be interested in marrying her anymore. And so the best person to marry this woman is the one who violated her. And through their life together, they'll come to terms with his lusts and her whatever her sadness.
So what's the parallel to the Jewish people? I mean, Hashem forced us. Now he's got to marry us. Doesn't seem to be a parallel here.
No, it's not an exact parallel. I'm trying to explain to you what was the necessity of the coercion that took place at the Kabbalah Satorah. Why would there be an aspect of coercion necessary by Kabbalah Satorah? You would say that ideally we should be making a free will choice to accept the Torah, and that's going to be the best situation. We're gladly, happily, with our own volition, accepting the Torah. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu understood very well not that way, because if we would be accepting the Torah through our own free will volition, so just as we accepted the Torah free willingly, if we decide that we don't want to keep the Torah free willingly, sometime afterwards we'll just renege and we'll give up on keeping the Torah. So therefore, Kadosh Baruch Hu included an element of coercion into Kabbalah Satorah. So just as we were in fact forced to keep the Torah So therefore, because of this aspect of coercion has been introduced into the Torah, that makes the relationship binding to a Kadosh Baruch Hu and Klal Yisrael, that it's irrevocable.
But the marriage between the man and the woman that he coerced, it's incumbent upon him. I mean, he's obligated, but she's not.
No, that's the mitzvah. All Jews want to keep the Torah. All Jews, it's just a mitzvah in the Torah. We all want to keep this mitzvah in the Torah. If this was the situation that developed, we all want to keep the Torah. She wants to fulfill the Torah. He wants to fulfill the Torah. Okay, he was tricked by his lusts, right? But we're talking about Jews. That the basic understanding of every Jew is that the Torah is something to be fulfilled, to be adhered to. So okay, he got hold of his lusts, got hold of him, right? And so he's now in the situation where he's forced to marry this woman, and she's interested in keeping the Torah. He's interested in keeping the Torah. So that's a very good basis of building a marriage.
Okay.
They'll work it out. He's definitely he's going to do tshuva, right? And she's going to be forgiving, and they can grow together to be great tzaddikim and tzadkaniyas and have a wonderful Jewish family. Why not?
Mhm. Okay, Biter.
That was. Remember what happened to Dina? Dina was violated, right? And she said to Shimon, "Listen, I'm not coming out of here until you promise to marry me," because she said no, and she knew no one's going to marry her now.
So she wanted Shem to marry her?
Shem or Shimon?
What?
She wanted who to marry her?
Shem?
Shem. There's discussion about whether she happened to have an affection for him or not. That I'm not prepared to discuss that now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the Gemara talks about that women they have an affection, even if they've been violated, they have a certain affection for the person, even though were violated. But that's not our discussion right now.
Yeah. Okay. Biter?
Yeah. Sure. Number 18.
V'chein Hashem Yisbarach Noheg V'chibur Zeh Im Yisrael. And so Hashem may be blessed, acts with a connection to the Jewish people. Hachibur she'asa haya hakrach
Haya hachrechi.
hachrechi. The connection that is made is essential.
Right.
Shaharei kapa aleihem har gigis. That behold, was the mountain was over them like a barrel.
Right.
L'kabel es haTorah, to receive the Torah. Ukabalas haTorah he etzem hachibor, and the receiving of the Torah, it is the essence of the connection. Kamo shehis bar What is this word? He's bar
as it's explained.
explained. L'chach ein hesra l'chibor zeh. What is hesra?
To remove. L'kach ein hasara l'chibur. This connection cannot be removed. Or
L'chach hu l'fi emes sheha chibor hazeh muchrach. And therefore, it is because of truth that this connection is essential.
right.
Umikavein shahu muchrach ein lo perush. Well, I'm sorry, pirud. The devar ze klal. And since that it is essential, it is not for him. I forgot what this word perud means.
Perud means separation or distancing.
It is not for him to distance this matter at all. It's not because this connection is essential. He does not have the option to become distant from it. He being the Jewish people,
right? In relationship to Hakadosh Baruch Hu, there can't be any like, or even like period like this to sever. You can't sever this.
V'harei hadivarim asher mi amarnu ramzu chachamim b'divreihem, and now the things that they say are hinting at the wisdom of these words.
Yeah, v'hari hadavarim asher amaranu nirmaz hachamim b'divreihem, and the things that we have discussed are implied by Chachamim, meaning Chazal, in the words of Chazal. The things we've discussed are implied from the words of Chazal.
Okay, later.
Yeah, sure.
V'had Tosafos Mefarshim Sham, and the Tosafos explain over there in Shabbos.
That's in the Gemara in Shabbos. That in talking about there was call for a har kagigas, right? Discussing that Gemara.
Okay. Kasher ra'o ha'ish ha'gidola hayu chuzrin mima she'amru na'aseh v'nishma. That when they saw a great man.
No, Ace, the great fire, meaning
Fire.
Tosfos explains the Gemara over there that when as the pasuk relates that there was the sound of the shofar was very great and increasingly getting louder. There was kolos u'brachim. There was the sounds and the fire claps and the pleading, the fires. So when we saw the great fire that was descending upon Har Sinai, we were chosrim, where we were regretting reneging on what we said, Nasa v'nishma. Nasa was nishta, we had said previously.
Wait, where's the word?
Now when we saw that great fire there, we were now, because of the fear of the great fire, we were now somewhat regretting and going back on having remorse on what we said of Nasa v'nishma.
Because of the fear of the fire.
Right.
The ain da'asinu nocha bit roots zeh. And we do not know.
V'ain daitenu, and our and Noisha and literally our thoughts are not pleased with this terrace. Meaning we don't find in our minds we don't find pleasure in this explanation.
So in our minds, what is nocha?
No, from the word Noach.
Our minds are not restful.
Yeah, but they're not settled. We're not pleased. Noach, Noach Chain, right? You know this. We discussed this once. There's a connection between the word Noach and Chain, right?
Right.
It's the same word. It's the same letters reversed.
Right. So the answer, when it says this answer,
right?
I'm trying to figure out what the answer is that it's referring to.
No, the Tosfos suggests. Tosfos gives the explanation. Why was the har koforhem kahar kagiyas, right? So Tosfos explains, since they were regretting the words of Nasav and Ishmael when they saw the Eish Gadol, right?
Right.
So therefore, they needed to be coerced to go ahead with their original decision.
Oh, and that's the answer. Therefore, they were coerced.
Right. That's Tosfos's answer, and the Maharal saying he's not pleased with this answer.
The Maharal is not pleased with Tosfos's answer.
Right.
Maharal says to say that they needed to be coerced because they were fearful is not a good answer.
Right. Well, not that it could be that they were fearful, but to say that they were thinking of regretting, they had regret about saying Nasav and Ishma, he was not willing to accept that.
Yeah, good, because I was wondering about that too. Okay. Shechol Zechus Israel, that all of the merit of Israel, because of all the merit of Israel, Shamru, that they said Nasav and Ishma, V'cheim Ushalom, the Chas v'Shalom, and heaven forbid, Shehayu Chosrin Midavar Hazeh, that they should go back on this. Chas v'Shalom, that they would even consider going back on Nasav and Ishma.
Right, that's right.
Okay. So where does that leave us? That leaves us with no conclusion.
Well, I mean, the Maharal already gave us his explanation based on the Medrash. Again, the basic question is, why was it necessary that the har should be turned up over upon them like a hard kegigis? Why did they apparently need to be coerced into something at the time of Har Sinai? Right. So Tosos is explaining that since they were about to renege on their statement of Naso and Ishma, so they needed to be coerced to continue on and finally accept irrevocably their original decision, right? That they shouldn't renul and revoke their previously statement of Naso and Ishma. But the Maharal is not happy with that, and he prefers the answer that the Medrash seems to indicate, that the element of coercion of is that they to reinforce the bond between the Kadosh Baruch Hu and Klal Yisrael, that it can never be revoked. That relationship, just like the man who violates the woman against her will and coerces the woman, he has to take her as a wife forever and ever. So likewise, the Kadosh Baruch Hu, since he forced us into accepting the Torah, or at least there was an element of force in our accepting the Torah. Therefore, he, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, must remain with us as our God forever and ever.
Got it.
Okay.
Uke Amar de Mikan Moda Rabba the Oraisa. Okay, so as it says, Mikan, from here, Modia is to admit.
Well, this is the phrase that the Gemara in Shabbos uses, that when the mountain was picked up and held over us, that was a moda rabbi loraisa. So it's basically a great notification about the Torah. It's a great insight into the essence of Torah.
Perush she roi haya sheti haya haTorah l'Yisrael shelo ba'onis. The explanation that it is proper that it should be that the Torah to Israel without coercion.
Right.
The explanation that says that really the Torah should have been given to Israel without coercion. She'im ba'onus uveha krach uvehirchach uvehirach im kain ein haTorah roi liYisrael mitzad atzmam rak al yidei hakrach hikrach.
Right.
So that if the coercion was out of necessity, therefore the Torah is not proper for Israel from the perspective of itself, only through necessity. V'lo haya hekrach. I'm sorry. He's quote hazachus kol kach gadol kamo Asher Haya HaTorah Lahem Mitzad Atzmam. And not in the merit so much, not due to so much merit, like when the Torah, when it was the Torah to them from the aspect of itself.
Yes, he's mentioning, he's speaking, he's raising a point over here. If according to what we're saying, and again, he's explaining what it means, Modaya Rabba Loraisa, meaning if it's going to be that the Torah was, we accepted the Torah upon ourselves through elements of coercion and necessity. If that's the case, then it's not that the Torah itself was really befitting for Klal Yisrael because of ourselves. Rather, it was only because as a necessity that we had to have it, right?
Right.
And if that's the case, and in that case, it would be that the acceptance of the Torah is not such a great merit for them as it would have been if the Torah itself was for them mitzad atzmo, meaning that not that we need the Torah, but that we want the Torah. So the schus that we would have if the Torah was given to us without coercion apparently would be greater than if we were, in fact, as it in fact turned out to be, that we were forced. So the schus that we have now that the Torah was forced upon us is not as great as the schus we would have had the Torah been accepted upon ourselves simply because of our free will.
Right. Right. Sha'az v'zeh zchus yoter gadol.
Meaning, had we accepted the Torah upon ourselves willingly, would have had a much greater merit in that.
Right. Afal gav she'amru, even though that they say Naso v'nishma, even though they said Naso v'nishma kodem first. Oh, even though they said it, nevertheless, if it's then a coercion, it's not such a great thing.
Right,
Like,
it's not so great.
No big deal. It was coerced. We had to take it. So what?
Right. So it's not such a zakus as it was. Even though we were setting up as an isra, but nevertheless, it's not so great as it would have been had it been completely on our own volition.
Okay, Mikom Makom, the Shas, Kabalta, Atorah, Ba Lahem, Atorah, Al Yidei, Hechris. Nevertheless, at the time that we accepted the Torah, it came to us. The Torah came to us through necessity, below mitzad atzmam, and not from the perspective of its own self, its own value. We call shekain lefi ma she'is ba'ar lamala. And even more so because of what he's ba'ar, I don't know.
As has been explained above.
as has been explained above. HaTorah Chasar L'Yisrael. The Torah was diminished from Israel.
No, that Torah misyaches Lisa. The Torah is a heritage for Israel. From the word yichus, it's like a heritage, a legacy. It's a legacy or it's a heritage.
Oh, yichus. Misyachas Israel. So as is explained above, the Torah is a heritage to Israel. The im lo, and if not, Cain lo haya roy. If it was not so, it would not be appropriate. Shetehei Israel HaTorah, that the Torah would be with Israel. The mo shenis ba'ar lamala. What is nis ba'ar?
As was elaborated upon above.
As was elaborated upon above.
Good.
I think that's the end.
Well, yeah. Well, actually, to tell you the truth, the moral goes on further, but this is the end as far as what I sent out to you. I can send more. We can continue. Compare it. Let's see.
So what have we said here, Rabbi?
Yeah. Well, you tell me. What do you tell me what you think?
That's not fair. Okay, let's see. Boy, there's a lot of stuff on these pages.
Yeah.
Okay, so we basically we said that the Jewish people accepted the Torah, but then we had to be coerced.
Right.
And there's a principle that love that's based on something is only as strong as the thing it's based on. A love that's not based on something is far stronger. It's inviolate. It can't be lost.
Right.
So therefore, we see that when Hashem chose Abraham in Lech Lecha, he doesn't give any qualifications. As opposed to Noach, where it starts out with an introduction where it talks about Noach found grace and Noach was righteous. And the implication being that these are the reasons why Hashem loves Noach. These are the things, the Devarim, upon which that love is based. And therefore, that love is only as enduring as those things. And
Right.
when the Bnei Noach are not righteous, they're not worthy, then that love can diminish.
Right.
Whereas the love that Abraham has the love that Hashem has for Abraham, and therefore for the Jewish people, is not dependent in such a way. So that when the Jewish people sin, the love between Hashem and us doesn't change.
Good. Very good. Right.
But there's a problem with this, and that is that everything has to have a cause and a purpose. So how can you say that Hashem's choice of Abraham does not have a cause and a purpose? It has to. And isn't that cause going to be a devar, a thing, upon which the love is based?
That's the question exactly. Meaning, seeming since everything has to have a cause and a purpose, so look, apparently that cause and purpose is the reason for the love of Hakadosh Baruch Hu for Klal Yisrael. In which case, it would be reverting back to a totally b'davar.
Right. So that's the problem.
Right.
I don't know that we ever discussed what the cause and the purpose were.
So that's that paragraph over here that since inherent innately the existence of the universe depends upon Torah, and the fulfillment of the Torah depends upon Klal Yisrael. So this is where he starts talking about the thing which is behech, something which is of absolute necessity. So for existence to exist, it needs to be Torah by out of necessity. And for that, there needs to be a nation which is going to uphold and fulfill and learn the Torah out of necessity. Right? So something which is of necessity, right? It's not considered a davar bifnei atzmo, because it's something which is a necessary aspect, a necessary component, right? So since the Torah for the existence of everything, it's necessary absolutely that there be Torah, and for Torah there needs to be absolutely a necessity for Klal Yisrael. So these things are aspects, components of existence where are absolute necessities, right?
So the cause of the love between Hashem and the Jewish people is this necessity.
Right. Now, how is that not considered to be a dover, totally bedover? Because it's the love is because of, as you said very nicely, the love of Hakadosh Baruch Hu for Klal Yisrael is because of the necessity for Klal Yisrael. Okay, the necessity for Klal Yisrael. So it's like you have a I don't know what they have these days, but it used to be the cars used to have ignition keys, right? If you want to start the car, you need to have an ignition key, right?
Right.
I don't know if they have that anymore.
No, they don't have buttons now.
Buttons, okay. So yeah, the button. So that ignition key, that for the car to function, right? You need that key. That key is essential for the functioning of the car. Likewise, you have a key to get into your house. So that key, right, for the house to function, right, you need that key. Meaning the house is worthless without that key, because you can't make use of the house without that key. Can't make use of the car without that key, right? So likewise, without Klal Yisrael, without the Torah, without Klal, you can't make use of existence. Existence has no purpose. There's no purpose to existence without Klal Yisrael, without the Torah. So you don't say you love the key, right? Because of something of the key. Because it's essential. You have this love because of the essentiality of the key, right? You value the key. You value the key because of its essentiality. But the key is worth probably of all the things in the car, the key is probably the least actual value of anything in the car. The mirror, the rear view mirror, right? Your seat buckle, your probably when they used to make cars with cigarette lighters in them, the cigarette lighter was definitely worth more money than the key. The key was worth, in terms of the metal value and what it is, but you can get a replacement key. Go to the hardware store, get a for $4 or $5 less. Maybe you get a replacement key, right? So you don't love the key because of its actual value, right? You love the key because of what it does, what it can accomplish, what it allows you to accomplish, right? So the key is allowing you to accomplish. The key is allowing you to travel in your car. The key is allowing you to enter into your house and to go into your kitchen and cook and go rest in your bed and do everything else you do in your home, right? That's what the key allows you to do. So we have love for the key because of its essentiality, right? But that's not a ava tali b'davar.
Right. So what's
It's a
the what's the
fine distinction. It's a fine distinction, but I think you understand it.
I understand so far, but what's the tachlis? We're saying that the essentiality is the cause of the love. What's the tachlis?
Oh, okay. So really, to tell you the truth, he's not going into the tachlis. Tachlis is that's a whole different realm. You'll talk about the tachlis of existences, the tachlis of Torah, the tachlis of Klal Yisrael. That's really a whole different another realm, another dimension has to be discussed. You're right, though, but he didn't go into that detail, right?
Yeah. Okay, so then I think I understand it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Baruch Hashem. All right, so you have something to talk about the next 2 days, right?
Yeah. This should cover the holiday and Shabbos. Wow.
Be'ez Hashem.
All right, Rabbi. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're quite welcome. Yitz Hashem. Hope to see you, I guess, Yom Rishon. How's Milton doing? How long is he staying in Eretz Israel?
He's staying, I think, until Monday. We have had a very interesting conversation. Let me turn the recording off.